Hi, I am Bruno. I am based in Shanghai and I am managing OneLAN in Asia for the last 10 years. In this presentation, I will share with you some of the latest news regarding ONELAN Digital Signage, and I will take this chance also to remind you some of the key features. I will, to do so, use my laptop and share with you the user interface in the CMS so you can see by yourself how easy it is to use those features. Let's start with a short introduction of the company OneLAN. OneLAN started in 2000 in UK near London, focusing on digital signage, which was then a rather new technology. After several years of success on the UK market, OneLAN started to expand towards international market and quickly took position on all 5 continents. OneLAN has been recognized for the innovation it brought to the industry, with, for example, a Queen Award in 2010. In 2015, OneLAN launched a new solution specific to meeting room booking with a new brand name, Reserva. In 2018, OneLAN was acquired by Uniguest, a US company with strong position in the hospitality market worldwide. And in 2019, end of last year, Uniguest also acquired TriplePlay, another UK company with excellent solutions in IPTV and digital signage. This means that the OneLAN and TriplePlay teams are currently merging into one company with even more expertise and presence on the worldwide market. OneLAN is currently present via its network of partners in more than 80 countries, with more than 100,000 players shipped worldwide. Over the year, a very large number of customers have chosen OneLAN and deployed across their network, often over several countries or even several continents. Here are some names among many others. You may pick here some famous names in the various vertical markets where digital signage is used. Retail, Chemist Warehouse is one of our largest customers with several thousand of players installed. Public venues like airport, museum, universities, also banks, and of course corporations for their internal communication. Digital signage covers quite a wide range of applications. So let's start by looking at some examples. Here is a case of a university. You got a large screen that becomes a feature element in the main lobby. It is eye-catching. The content here is a mix of different types with different purposes. Globally, it is a digital platform that is beautifully designed, that is giving useful information, some serious stuff from the administration, but also some more fun content from the social groups among the students. And this is giving an image of a modern, efficient, and well-managed universities. Content will include communication to the students and visitors, messages from the administration, also communication on events, activities. It will guide people coming to the university with a summary of the event of the day and wayfinders telling you where to go. It will also demonstrate the commitment of the university to certain causes and values, such as energy saving, with a live dial showing the energy generated by solar panels within the campus. Another type of content can look much more simple, like a large video wall in this airport in New Zealand. The purpose here is to create a high quality and impressive video wall that becomes the focus of the architectural design of a place. This video wall consists of 3 parts, each of 17 displays. So in a total, 51 displays, 3 players running in synchronized method. Something a bit similar here with this content that seems to appear on a wooden wall. In fact, this LED display is behind the wood panels, which have micro perforations. Again, this creates an eye-catching display. And we can imagine that the hotel will want to have a smart scheduling of a playlist of what is playing here. So it can maximize the impact of this display to bring more sales revenue from the visitors and viewers. Corporations are also key users of digital signage in public spaces or for internal communication. It can be feature wall, like we see on the left, with many screens playing in synchronization, or it can be very practical information, such as a kiosk with a wayfinder within the premises, what you can see here on the right part of the screen. And as the cost of display goes down, designer and architect will use more of them, with the advantage that the content, which is basically a video content, can be changed easily to create different atmosphere following the seasons, the festival, the events. And when the video are playing all around in a synchronized way, they become really the design itself. So this will allow to refresh the feel and look of the premises with just changing the video. Very good idea for the designers. And that same approach of displays running in sync across a large area can work also in the retail environment. Here is Dubai Duty Free, with several hundreds of ONELAN players running in the terminals. You can see that having all these screens playing in sync creates an impact which is very different from the situation where each would play its own content. And this playback of content in sync applies here to different types of screens: LED, LCD, LCD video walls of different size and form ratio. So now, how it works and how do you build your solution? The most simple solution is the standalone mode. Just one player or one display. You access directly the player via the network to create your content and to update it. You will do that for small projects with one or very few players. When you have several displays, possibly in several locations, you will differentiate the players that are playing the content facing the public and the back office, where the team will prepare, preview, adjust, update the content. Then you need a CMS, a content management solution. ONELAN CMS can handle a wide range of displays. We can handle 4K players, driving 4K screens or 4K video walls. Can be HD displays with HD players, or with OPS players, the players that slot into OPS displays. We can also manage through our CMS SoC platforms such as Samsung, SSP, Tizen, or LG WebOS. Bright Sign players are in fact for us also SoC platform, very similar in a technology point of view. Last but not least, our Reserva meeting room signage displays are also able to display digital signage content because they are Linux-based, and they can connect to a CMS and collect content just like any other display and players. The CMS can be purchased as a hardware base. This is what we call PA, physical appliance. Or it can be purchased as well as a VMware solution. Then you will be able to install it on your VM server. It's interesting to know that both PA or VM, either way, will give you the chance to offer to your customer an on-premise solution for the CMS. And this is important because many large customers will require on-premise CMS for security and reliability reasons. OneLAN players are Linux-based. Why? Well, I'm sure you've seen things like on the left side of the screen with displays in airport or somewhere else with white, black, blue screens with error message. This is Windows-based. Linux will never give you this kind of problem on the screens. Windows is always a lot more maintenance. This means also is a lot more downtime on the screen because you have to wait for the maintenance team to get and fix it. And when this is in an airport, that's not so straightforward. Linux has been recognized as a much more reliable and stable solution. Still, for an end user, don't be afraid with Linux. You will never have to face it. Whatever you are doing will be on your own computer, Windows or Macintosh. The Linux is just the platform behind. Let's have a look at how we will create content and organize it. First, you will group together the displays that have to show the same content. This is what we call channel. So you will create on your CMS as many channels as you need. Then for each display, you will set in the player which is the channel it has to subscribe from. Here, channel 23. In each channel, you will have different content that you want to show at different times. This is schedule. You will probably have a default schedule and some other schedules that will play at certain time by dates, day of the week, etc. In the schedule itself, you may have maybe only one content playing all the time. Or you may also have differentiated content based on dates, days, hours. So in short, what we have seen so far is that you can group your players in channels and you can organize the way the content is played by creating schedule entries. There is no limitation in the number of channels, schedules, layouts. So you have full flexibility on the way you want to organize your content. So now let's see how you organize and create the content itself. For this, you will get into your CMS and create the layout. A layout is a combination of zones. Each zone has its own playlist where you load and organize the media items the way you want to show them on the screen. What I suggest is we will go now on my laptop to the CMS. I will show you how to log in, how to create a new layout, and preview what we will have done. To access your OneLAN CMS, you use your usual browser and you get to the IP address of your CMS. You identify yourself and you are in. We will do from here together a new layout. I add a layout, I give it a name, I select the size of my layout, landscape or portrait, keep it landscape, HD, and I add. This creates the layout. My layout is now created, empty canvas. I add zone. The first zone comes full screen, and I will use it for my background. It's an image, correct. And I will go and manage my playlist. Here, the CMS will automatically give me a default background. To make it simple, I will just keep this one. Here I can see the default background in watermark behind my layout. I add more zone. Let's make this second zone as a video. I put it here, I can move it, and I can adjust the size. Well, this is a video zone, so my video file itself is likely to be in a 16:9 ratio. So I can also request the CMS to always keep the size of this zone based on a 16:9 ratio. Now, when I do this, if I enlarge, it will automatically keep the ratio. Let's do this. I go in the playlist of this video zone. The CMS will have given me a default video. I may want to remove that one. And now I go in my computer, and I have here my own video that I will drag and drop into the playlist. What is happening now is that it's uploading to the CMS. Now my video is in my playlist already. I'm done here. I go back to my layout. I can keep adding more zone. Let's imagine we want to add here a text zone. We call it welcome message. And now I'm going into the playlist. It automatically gives me this box where I can keep my message. And I can select the way I want to show this text. I can show it still or moving, scrolling from right to left. Here I will select that it goes from bottom to top, and I can select the speed. I can select the font. I adjust the size. I pick a color for the text itself. Let's make it white since my background is dark. And I want to change the background of the zone itself to make it transparent, so the text seems to be floating on top of it. I'm done. I go back to my layout and I add another zone. Below here. Let's imagine this one. We want to make it for pictures. So I select here image. I can remove the text, I don't need. And I go to edit my playlist. Again, the CMS will give me automatically a default picture. I remove it. And I go in my computer, my own folder, and I pick the picture I want to put here, upload it, one, the second one. Now that I have two pictures here, I can also drag if I want to change the order. Now I move to my channel page where I can see my current channel where I am playing my content. I just change it, so I need to publish it. This will send all this new content to all the players in my network that are looking at this channel. So now I will see that content on those screens. But if I want to have a look from my own laptop, I have also the option to use the audition channel. Clicking here will open a window that will act as a preview player. So I will see on my own computer the content that I just created. It will be downloading right now, this content. Here it is. I have my video, my text, and my picture moving here in a slideshow. Very early, ONELAN had the feedback from end users that they wish to have features that allow more creativity in their design. ONELAN has listened to them and developed smart features such as a full access to transparency from any zone, any type of media. Why is it important? Because it allows to create eye-catching content easily by just combining the usual files such as video, text, pictures, including the PNG file that allow transparency. We can have a look at the way this content is made. First, you have the usual components with a background and different zone for picture, text, HTML clock, RSS feed. But to make it more arty, the designer has here added a foreground, another layer of picture on the top. This is a PNG file that creates windows. And you see the clock, you see the picture through these windows. This allows you to have a clock with a round frame. This also gives you the effect of fade in, fade out for the text, and the impression that the text is flowing behind the jar at the bottom left. With this type of transparency feature, this is easy to achieve and to create beautiful content, easy to update, easy to refresh with new artworks. Another useful feature of ONELAN CMS is the capture of content from a web page. It will show in a HTML zone in your layout. You just need to copy paste the link to your web page, and you will crop to extract the part that you want, zoom it to fit your HTML zone. This brings on the screen the content that will update automatically from the web. This is very good because this is zero cost, and it will be what we call sticky content. Info like weather, stock market, traffic news that people always want to look at. So you get more attention to your overall signage. Another request ONELAN heard from end users is to create simplified access to some users with rights restricted to just a few tasks, like updating a text message, uploading media to show in a zone. ONELAN allows you to create as many users as you want in your CMS and to tailor their rights and permissions very finely to match the workflow in your team. We have seen that you can create layouts as many as you want, and you can create schedules and channels also as many as you want. So you can do exactly what you want, put different content on different screens at different time. But when you think about it, this means you may need to create a lot of channels, a lot of layouts. And maybe just because they differ only on one item that you want to show here, but not there, or that you want to show in the morning, but not in the afternoon. The fact is that it can quickly become a very big workload. So in most cases, end users give up with the idea of adjusting the content on the screens and end up having the same content everywhere all the time, just because they don't have time to do better. ONELAN has been listening to such stories and came with features that we call productivity features. Let's here have a look at the time validity. I have 3 pictures in the slideshow. One is for breakfast special, and I want to show it only in the morning from 6 to 8:30 on the weekdays. I could create 2 playlists, one with a breakfast, one without the breakfast item. But ONELAN gives you a better way. In the playlist, I will set the properties of that specific item, the breakfast special. I will request that this item play only on certain days, Monday to Friday, and from 6 to 8:30 a.m. Now I can see in my playlist that this item has an icon telling there is a time validity activated, and it may tell me it will not show now because of the time. And I can see this calendar view where I can see that the last item is playing only for these intervals, while the other 2 items are playing all the time. If I look now at the outcome, when I did this recording, the time was 8:40. So out of my time for the breakfast, you can see that the breakfast item is in the playlist, but is not showing on the screen. Now consider another situation. I prepare this content for all my coffee shop outlets, but not all of them offer free Wi-Fi. So I have to remove that picture in some cases. In the same way, I could have 2 channels. one with a playlist with Wi-Fi, one without. But I can also use ONELAN smart feature, the player local information. I will create in the CMS a meta tag. I give it a name, free Wi-Fi. Value can be yes or no. When I set up a player in an outlet, I will set the value inside the player. Yes, if the outlet has free Wi-Fi, no otherwise. In my CMS, I will set the rule for that item. In the playlist, I will go into the setting of that free Wi-Fi picture. And in the play criteria, I will, instead of playing always, select that I play when the free Wi-Fi has the value yes. Once I am done with this, my playlist has the free item with a conditional play on the second item for the free Wi-Fi. When I am in an outlet with the value set as yes in the player, I will get my display to show all the free pictures. When I am in another outlet with a player set with a value no, I will only show the two pictures without the free Wi-Fi. Also, both players are receiving the same playlist of the free pictures. When you use LED display, the size and form factor can be anything, not always the usual 4:3 or 16:9. And you have the same thing when you are using one player for video wall, like a 2:3 or 2:4. OneLAN offers you the flexibility to set the size of a canvas of your layout according to your actual dimension, and therefore the output of your player. You can customize the size. For example, a long bannier, similar to a 4K in length, but 480 pixels in height, can be set, as we see here on the screen. You can set that dimension, and you get a layout and a video zone matching that dimension. We have mentioned the advantage of having all the players running in sync, as here in the Dubai Duty-Free Airport. But how do we do this? In the playlist, we add a command that we call a rendezvous point at the beginning of the playlist. The second thing is you need to have all your players looking at the same NTP server, so they are exactly at the same time. In the schedule, you will set a rule that every fixed time, for example here 3 minutes, you will instruct all the players to restart from the top of a loop. So you get all your players getting the information from the NTP and restarting at regular interval, securing you keep in synchronization. I will stop here for the presentation of the feature of digital signage by OneLAN. This is not the full list of features. We could keep going on, but I think this is good for today. Thank you for listening, and I am very happy to answer your questions.